The funniest part, though, was probably what SVG said about
That
it.
was hilarious.
Because SVG had a bird's eye view of the whole thing, and he, in real time, said, "Holy shit, he just committed murder. It looks like he just full throttled him." Welcome back to Turn 4, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. This week we're talking about all things Texas and how that shit show went.
Texas.
What do you think of Texas?
It was weird. It was weird, man. You know, it's not one of my favorite racetracks. It hasn't been one of my favorite racetracks for quite some time. I don't know why I was like optimistic about this race. I actually didn't think it was a bad race. I didn't think it was a bad race. It was weird. The strategies were all over the place. At one point, I didn't know who had what. There was cars that were taking 2 tires, no tires, 4 tires, 10 tires, fuel only. I was like, what is going on? It shook the whole thing up. But, you know, I just, I don't know. It was a really bizarre race, but I didn't like not enjoy it.
Yeah.
It didn't suck.
It was entertaining. I just, from one moment to the next, I felt like I never knew what was going on or who was on what strategy.
Yeah, I was having a hard time following the strategies, but I thought it was a little more entertaining than last week's race was.
Sure.
And I thought it was more entertaining than Kansas was. But I've just never really been a fan of Texas. Like, it just, that's always like a track that it's like, oh, they're going to Texas.
It was interesting.
Even on the video game, when I play the video game and I'm like, the next track is Texas. And I'm like, oh, Texas. Right.
We got some interesting winners this week, though. It was a cup sweep for the weekend.
Sure was. Good week for the
Carson
cup
Hocevar won the truck race and then apparently went to the Met Gala, because like you do.
Yeah. I didn't know, how does one get invited to the Met Gala? Do you know?
Invitation only.
So how does Carson Hocevar get in?
I don't know. I guess he's hot right now somehow.
There's this thing. There's this thing, and I need to dive more into it. But there's this thing where he apparently is really big into Sabrina Carpenter, and really wanted to meet Sabrina Carpenter, or has been wanting to meet Sabrina Carpenter. There's something
to do a Travis Kelce thing.
Yeah. But I think she's dating the guy from Stranger Things. That's for another show.
We'll talk about that next week on Multiverse of Merriment.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter's love life does not include Carson Hocevar, I don't think. But yeah, congratulations to him for going. Looked spiffy in that suit, representing NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us actually watched the truck race. We don't have too much to say about this, but it was nice to see him get like a second win almost back to back. It seems like he might have some momentum going into upcoming weekends.
Beat Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he beat Kyle Busch too.
Yeah.
So that's a feat, especially in the truck race. We've seen Kyle Busch whoop some kids in the truck race before.
Yeah.
Onto the O'Reilly race. That was an interesting one. There was a crash on like the first turn of that race. I'm not even sure we were in a turn yet when that crash happened.
That race was much more enjoyable. And I kind of wanted to see the same thing. Like, I liked that they were talking about how slick the track was. And that's why we kept seeing some problems. But yeah, first turn, first lap, was it Corey Day?
It was Taylor Gray, William Sawalich, and Corey Day.
Yeah, okay.
All got
wow, 3 of the future...
ate shit on the first lap.
I had to say 3 of the future stars of NASCAR. William Sawalich, Corey Day, and Tanner Gray. Yeah, they did. They ate shit on that first lap. But yeah, that was an enjoyable. That was a much more enjoyable race. And lately, the O'Reilly races have been pretty good, and this one was no exception. This one was good too.
It was an interesting race. There were a significant number of lead changes, maybe in both races, compared to what we like usually see on other tracks. Mm-hmm. So for this one, like Allgaier won stage 1, Zilich won stage 2, Larson won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But after a pretty significant battle with Allgaier.
Yeah, Allgaier Allgaier was really kicking their ass in the first stage. And he was kind of running away with it. And then I guess the field kind of came to him a little bit because he didn't seem as strong as the race went on. I still think he had the best car, but maybe he lost track position a little bit. And just couldn't seem to pass Larson. You know, Larson's the greatest driver in the world. So it would be super hard to pass him anyway because he's so magnificent and everybody else can only dream. But I was glad to see Connor Zilisch win something because he's been struggling in the Cup Series. So it's good to know that he can still get it done in the O'Reilly Series, and I bet he feels the same way. It's got to do wonders for his confidence, to be able to go out there and run. I think he did screw himself a little bit somewhere along the race. I think in the pits or something like that, and that kind of put him behind, and that's why he wasn't able to ultimately go up there and battle for the win. It ended up being Larson and Allgaier fighting. So it was a hell of a battle there at the end. It was really fun watching those two go at it.
It was really fun. In the Cup race, we had a number of battles happening as well. That was an interesting one. Stage 1, Eric Jones. Stage 2, Chase Elliott. Winner, Chase Elliott. But that looking at that does not tell the story of that race at all.
Yeah, the whole race I feel like got blown to smithereens because of some cautions that came out in stage 1. And I'm having a hard time keeping it straight in my mind just because it was so weird. Like at one point
you're not the only one.
Do what?
Did you listen to Actions Detrimental this week? Denny couldn't even keep it straight, and he was in the car in the race.
I felt good when I watched Denny Hamlin on that show because I was almost questioning my mental capacity to follow the race. I was like, is there something just wrong with me? Am I having a stroke? But when I heard that Denny Hamlin was also like, I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know what caution it was. I don't know what lap it was. I don't know what stage it was. I was like, well, good, because neither do I. It's almost like some paradox over us that I lost sense of time and place while watching that race. It was just very bizarre to watch. I even told you at one point, I said, look at the top 10. I was like, it's all, who are these people? Where'd they come from? Because all the drivers that started the race and were running solidly in the top 10, like at one point, Denny Hamlin came in, speaking of Denny Hamlin, he came in and ended up 17th in the order just because of pit strategy. He was able to drive up through the field and get back up there, by the end of the stage, just because he had the fresher tires and the faster car. But yeah, it was all over the place. Very bizarre. A lot of drivers having rough qualifying days, having to come to the field. Bubba Wallace crashed his car in practice, so Bubba Wallace had to start at the back.
Bubba was interesting. He fought his way up to like 16th or something, and then proceeded to basically get stuck there until the end of the race. It was weird to people. It was weird to watch people try to come up through the field.
Blaney's even weirder. I know I'm a Blaney fan, but if I may, Blaney's even stranger. Blaney started in the back too because he said he screwed up his qualifying lap. My man starts in the back, and I was kind of joking with you because I'm like, oh, look, he's 29th. Oh, he's 26th.
Yeah.
23rd. Here he comes. And he just kept marching his way to the front. Was just outside the top 10. And then it just like the rest of the day, he just disappeared. And he worked his ass off all day long to finish 10th. Like, it was just, what happened? Bubba was the same way. Bubba came through the field rather quickly, and then it's like he just hit a damn wall.
Yeah.
I guess he had a 15th place car, maybe. He just got to 15th and was like, this is as fast as the car is going to be when it comes.
He did end up in the top 10, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a top 10 day. He finished in the top 10. They really, they grinded it out, and they came away with a solid top 10 finish.
One of the weirder ones for me, too, was Reddick. I felt like he didn't have the car when the race started, and then he just got progressively faster. I don't know. It was like stage 3 was like a multiverse. Like we shifted into an alternate timeline because everything that had been for stage 1 and stage 2 was just different by stage 3.
Same with Suarez. I mean, Daniel Suarez started outside pole. He fell through the field. One of the commentators, Boyer Harvick, was like, "Oh, that's Suarez's day," because based on the pit strategy, based on what he's doing, there's no shot. Suarez is going to fall through the field, and he did. He dropped like a rock.
Yeah.
Some bitch comes back up through there, and he has a top 10 day.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, he's gone. Suarez is done." They wrote him off. They're like, "Suarez, that was it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for playing. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Come back now." He came back, man. He came back and had a top 10 day. Reddick's team, I don't know what it is about them boys. They do that shit. If you look at we know, if you look at the amount of laps that they've led with the wins, they have this ability to just turn their race around. It is truly incredible what that team's able to do. They are the poster for like never give up. Because they will have like the crazy, was it Darlington where he was basically wrecked and they were like, "Oh, he's done for."
Yeah.
Drives up through the field, wins the race.
But it's usually Blaney. And that's why this one was even weirder, because Blaney we always joke that sometimes Blaney doesn't qualify well because he just wants the challenge of having to pass like 30 cars.
Yeah, Blaney
he usually always ends up in the top 10, but like Bubba, he kind of got stuck midway through his run to the top.
I don't know what happened to Blaney. Yeah, Blaney was kind of like, Blaney was the guy who would march to the field before it was cool. Like he was that dude back then. Like, I just feel like he does that. I feel like he drives, I almost want him to get a little pissed off because I feel like he drives better when he's angry.
Yeah.
Don't make him angry, But he wasn't doing Blaney, normal Blaney things. He wasn't much of a factor. The Ford's
Penske as a whole has not been a factor.
What's going on with Penske, dude? Because they kind of suck right now.
Yeah.
Like, Blaney is typically the better team. I'm not going to say team. Car. Although his pit crew has been better since they made some changes. And then Austin Cindric has been more competitive or consistent.
He has.
But Joey Logano, holy God.
Well, what's odd, though? I was just looking at the standings. So Blaney's 4th in points.
Okay.
Cindric's 15th in points. Joey is 17th in points. I feel like that doesn't accurately reflect how terrible he's been this year.
Yeah, it really doesn't. To have the kind of... I mean, he rode around... He was basically the 66 at Darlington.
Yeah.
He was Chad Fincham at Darlington. Gets caught up in the shit at Talladega.
Yeah.
Hit a parked car at Texas.
Yeah, on pit road.
Hit a parked car in Texas.
I mean, nearly ripped half his car, just clean off.
He did what most people do on Highway 55 out here at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just nailed a stopped car. Yeah, no, that was incredibly bad. Damn Cole Custer in the way. Always in the way, that Cole Custer. Yeah, that was rough to watch. But yeah, I feel like 17th in points. That's outside the chase, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not as bad as it could be. I'm like, where the hell did he run good?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been making much noise. Penske as a whole, I think they're in trouble. Honestly, the better Ford team right now is RFK. Said no one ever. Like, that's crazy, right? They're the honest to God, because Chris Buescher is running top 10, top 5.
He's 5th in points.
Yeah, he's running up there every week. Every week, he might not have a car that can win, but every week he's right there. And if you're right there every week, eventually one of them weeks is going to go your way. So I think he's knocking on the door for a win. Brad Keselowski as a whole has run a whole lot better than he normally has. He's starting to, kind of look like the Brad Keselowski of old. Again, running up front. And even Ryan, where's he at in points?
9th. Ryan Preece, which you were about to say, is 12th in points.
All 3 of the RFK cars in the chase right now.
Yeah.
As it stands, 11 races in, all 3 of them in the chase. We have one Penske car a 3-time NASCAR champion, not in the chase as it stands. Now, I totally believe Joey Logano's going to find a way to get into the chase. And Penske's going to find a way to get Joey Logano into the chase. I think. But I just think that's telling that something's going on over at Penske. I think we need to pay a visit to Penske and just take a look around and see what's going on. I think we need to go over there and just...
What's gone wrong?
I think we just need to get our eyes on the situation. I think we just need to get our eyes on the situation and just see what's happening here, all right? Like, is there anything we can do to help? Just make ourselves available. I'm available on the weekends. I got nothing going on. I'm recording some shows, but...
It is interesting, though. I don't know if you remember this, but at the end of last year, when they announced that they were going to be switching out of the Win and You're In format,
yeah,
Denny Hamlin on his show was happy about it.
Yeah.
But he also said, there are a handful of drivers that he chose that he thought would do well in the chase. People like Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
People like Blaney. He did not specifically name Joey Logano. And that was for a reason.
I told you.
Yeah.
Once. I remember this. I don't remember much, but I remember this. I told you once, I was like, yo, if they switch to this, Joey's going to suffer. Joey's going to suffer because Joey's been able to get away. And that's why he was so vocal, be like, I don't think we should change the championship format. I love it. I think it's great. I don't think it needs to be touched. It's like, well, you wouldn't because it benefits you. Because all you have to do is run good enough 1 week to win. Now you're in the chase. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You can slack off the rest of the weeks. Get to the chase, the final 10 races, turn it on. And he would do that. He would drive like ass for the whole season. Gets to the 10 races, and then he win half of them.
He would, but not this bad. Because as you know, like especially during the first year that I was watching racing with you, I didn't know anything about it. So I voted for Joey. I rooted for him because I'm from Connecticut and Joey's from Connecticut. And I thought, fuck it, I'll just vote for the hometown guy. So I watched him very closely for about 1.5 to 2 years. And he wasn't great outside the chase, but he wasn't not a top 15. He was a top 15 kind of car.
Yeah.
Now he's if he makes it above 30 most of the day, that's impressive.
It's impressive.
I don't know what's happened to Joey Logano.
I don't either. I don't think he does either. Maybe it's the hair.
He lost the hair. He lost the
ability to go fast. Well, you'd think he'd be faster without the hair. He'd be more
aerodynamic.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I maintain that maybe we should just go over to Penske and just see what's going on. Just take a look around and just does anyone need any help with anything? Is there anything we can do? Because they need help. But RFK, I think that is most improved award so far would go to them because last year they struggled. They've struggled they've struggled for a while. And here they are just every week. They're just kind of up there running, Preece included. Just up there running in the top 10. And like I said, the more you run in the top 10, the more you're just kind of in the mix. Eventually the seas are going to part. Something's going to open up your way and you'll be able to go and get a win. And I think Chris Buescher gets a win this year. I think Ryan Preece could win this year.
He's definitely looked fast.
He's already, he won the shootout thing at Bowman Gray, the Clash. They don't call it the shootout anymore. They call it the Clash. So he won that. So, yeah, I think they're right now impressive. I think Spire Motorsports is impressive. Carson Hocevar wins Talladega. And then he follows it up with a pole at Texas. And then Daniel Suarez qualifies to his outside. When was the last time you remember Daniel Suarez on the front row to start the race? Both of those cars finish in the top 10. So yeah, I think Spire Motorsports has been, truly impressive too. It's good to see.
Yeah. Well, going back to Preece for a second. There were a couple on-track incidents at the Cup race. We had a Preece versus Gibbs scenario, and then we had a Kyle Busch versus John Hunter Nemechek. Which one of those do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about Preece first. So I watched, first of all, when the wreck happened, real time, I thought it was a single car spin. I didn't think that anybody had gotten into Ty Gibbs. I didn't see anything. I just saw Ty Gibbs spin. I thought it was a single car spin. So when I heard later after the race, I was listening to the teardown. And when I heard later that, Preece had gotten real pissed off with him and had come on the radio and been like, when I get back to the 54, I'm ending his day, something like that. And then he gets back to the 54 and on the camera, it looks like he got into him. I watched a replay of an onboard of what allegedly Gibbs did to piss Preece off. I don't understand what he's mad about. It looks like Gibbs just got in a little too hot, moved up a few lanes, and kind of like Preece had to just let off to just keep from that shit. I mean, you see that all the time. I don't really know. I mean,
I know. I was
that
listening
gets
to
done
DVC.
to me all the time playing sim racing. I don't know. Like, I don't.
DVC talked about this though, and they thought that we've watched Gibbs long enough to know that he used to drive like an asshole.
Yeah, I think he's gotten better.
And he would just like, there was one, was it the All-Star race where he just like, he got pissed off and just drove into the door of somebody. Yeah. So they thought that it was just like the final straw for Preece. Like he just had enough of his shit and was just over it. The funniest part though was probably what SVG said about it.
That was hilarious.
Because SVG had a bird's eye view of the whole thing, and he in real time said, "Holy shit, he just committed murder. It looks like he just full throttled him."
It's funny to listen to him say that in that New Zealand accent too. Yeah,
definitely go look up the clip if you can find it.
Yeah, go look up that clip. Yeah, no, he did. And here's the thing, is that even if he didn't mean to, like he just, let's say for the benefit of the doubt, he just got into the corner, barely touched him, Gibbs loses control because the car's already on edge.
Yeah.
The problem is that a lap before that, he was like, some bitch, when I get to the 54, I'm putting him in the wall, as Russ Wheeler would say in Days of Thunder. I'm putting him in the wall. You know what I mean? And then it happened like a lap or two later. So it's kind of like, I guess he did. He's a man of his word.
I mean, I appreciate that about a person. I mean,
I do too.
Everybody last year said they were going to beat Hocevar the second they found him.
No one did.
That kid just skated right through.
Do you think Hocevar must be a badass, right? Like, we don't know because we're fans, but maybe like, everybody's
no
like,
one fucked with him.
Everybody was like last year, because last year, Ricky Stenhouse in Mexico was like, when we get back to America, I'm kicking your ass. And I'm like, ooh, I want to be there when the plane lands. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. And then it never happened. And everyone last year, I'm going to bust his ass. Doesn't happen. It's like maybe the inside scoop behind the scenes, if you pull the curtain up, you're like, dude, Hocevar is actually like a black belt in karate, and he knows
maybe
jiu-jitsu.
He just rolled like 10 on charisma, and he just apologizes after the fact, and he's so nice and, conciliatory that they're like, I'll let the kid go.
Yeah, he keeps passing a Fallout speech check. Every time he goes and does it. They're like got the guns raised at him and everything, and then he passes a speech check of like 90, and they're like, okay, you're good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's crazy that but no, yeah, I like you. I also like NASCAR better when the driver's like, that sumbitch is going down, and then he does. Like, I think that's fun. As long as we're not right rear hooking anybody into the wall, I'd say.
Yeah, we don't want to watch people get hurt. But
But as long as it's not a right, he ran into him from behind and he spun out, backed it into the wall. That's fun. Let's go. Let's have that happen.
We had another incident, which was Kyle Busch versus John Hunter Nemechek.
Okay, so this one pisses me off a little bit.
Okay.
So, Kyle Busch has done everything in his power to try and run better than 30th. Okay, they get a new crew chief. New crew chief comes in.
Yeah.
He qualifies in the top 10. Wow. Cool. All right. Guess there's something to this. He goes out there and he runs, how many miles was it? A 400-mile race in the top 10. Just hanging in there all day long. Holy crap. Kyle Busch is running in the top 10 all day on speed. Dude, bring it home, man. Like, just bring it home. Like, I get that, like, he's going down, and I think it's his fault. I think he turned into John Hunter Nemechek going down the backstretch, which caused him to hit the wall. I think that's on him. I think he wasn't clear. But even if you're pissed, there's 2 laps to go. If you're pissed at John Hunter because you feel like he slighted you, and John Hunter is an aggressive dude, and he's kind of an ass, and I get like a lot of people are kind of angry with him. Just wait. Finish the race, dude. You haven't finished in the top 10 like that in quite some time. Just bring the car home, have a solid day, then get out of your car and kick his ass on pit road. Like, just wait. Now, with that said, the only time I remember seeing Kyle Busch trying to kick someone's ass on pit road ended with him having a bloody nose.
I was going to say, that hasn't worked well for him in the past.
But still, that was what drove me the most crazy about it. Fun to watch. It was very Kyle Busch thing of him to do. But that's the problem with, I think, Kyle Busch. Like, I think Kyle Busch is his own worst enemy. I don't know the guy. I'm just a fan. Never met the man. But from having watched NASCAR and having watched Kyle Busch since he was a rookie, I just feel like at times he is his own worst enemy. And if he got out of his own way, he would, he'd be better for it. I remember a truck race where he tried to kill Ron Hornaday at a truck race, and his spotters and crew chief were pleading with him not to do it. And he just switched. It was like he just flipped a switch, and he went someplace else, and he got suspended for that. And I feel like this, and it was at Texas. Holy crap, it was at Texas. Now that I think about it, it was at a Texas truck race years ago. But yeah, like, just one of those things where if I was his crew chief and his spotter, I would have just been, please God, just kick his ass later. Kick his ass later. Just please bring the car home in a top 10. And he doesn't finish 10th. He finishes like 20th, I think. And it's just, that's a damn shame, because they finally ran in the top 10. Now, maybe this bodes well for them, for their speed. Maybe they have found something. But do you think he should be penalized for that? Do you think Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch should be penalized for what they did? Because it clearly looked intentional. And, you know, Denny Hamlin's been busted for intentional stuff before that he's said on his podcast. So do you think Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch should see punishment, or do you think that this is what we need for excitement in the sport and we should just allow it?
I think the fans like to see it, but I think NASCAR needs to make up their mind about exactly what they're going to call and what they're not going to call, and what they're going to claim as intentional, what they're not going to claim as intentional, which is really hard because it's a subjective judgment call to say whether something's intentional in the first place.
Right, because Preece said, I'm going to bust his ass.
Yeah.
Then it happened. But
maybe there needs to be, like, I mean, I don't know how they think about it now, but perhaps there just needs to be like a damage allotment, the amount of damage that you cause to the car. If it looks intentional. I don't know, but again, if it looks intentional, it's a hard thing to say. So I don't know. I might just let it ride unless it looks so flagrantly intentional that you're like, that's 100% there. No one else would read that a different way.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what someone's intent is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was what was frustrating. Like, I'm not a Kyle Busch fan, and I think he's a baby, but like, I was frustrated for the crew because I can only imagine how excited they must have felt to have a car, and I'm applying feelings to people I don't know, but I felt for them. I put myself in their shoes, and I was like, if I was them, I'd be like, holy shit, like, we have a car that runs in the top 10. We've been running 35th all year long, and here we are at Texas, running in the top 10 on speed, no shenanigans, on speed. And then our driver fucks it up with 2 to go because he got a little pissed off or embarrassed.
Yeah.
Damn.
Although, to be fair, we should mention that Kyle Busch claims that he did it accidentally and that he was just hitting his marks. Right. That's what he claims. So,
yeah,
if that was in fact the case, then, he thought he was doing the right thing.
I don't know if you have this in front of you, but where is Kyle Busch in points right now with that 20? I know he was 27th after Talladega. Did that advance the ball?
He's 26th. He's up 1 spot.
He went 1 spot.
Yeah.
But imagine where he could have been had he just finished 8th. Sometimes.
Yeah, because he's only 4 points behind the person in front of him. And 5 points behind the person in front of that person.
So he could have jumped 3 in one weekend.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're running as poorly as they have, sometimes like 8th place is like winning. You just, wow, we finished 8th today. That's amazing. Let's build upon that. They have a car that ran in the top 10. Now that car is destroyed. It's got damage. It's not as healthy as it once was. And that's a car that they had that could run in the top 10. And here's that crew chief, his first race with the team. And he's like, dude, I look like a fucking genius right now. I show up, we're running in the top 10, but the stat sheet's going to show they finished 20th because of the driver. Damn, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated for them.
Chase Elliott won the day, and seems deservedly so. He was very fast at the end of that race.
Yes, he was.
So good to see for Chase.
I'm happy to see Chase win.
We have Watkins Glen next week. Do we think we'll get another SVG win there?
I don't know. Trackhouse, I'm going to be watching them closely. I'm very curious to see how they run because Trackhouse as a whole has underperformed this season. Ross Chastain has not been good. Connor Zilich has had one of the worst rookie seasons I can remember in a long time. Holy crap. And then, SVG had moments of like, I think he's starting to figure this out, and that might necessarily be his fault. I think he did end up having a top 15 day at Texas, though. I think he did end up somewhere in the top 15, top 20. But yeah, I don't know. They've really struggled. But SVG is a master on the road course. I think Tyler Reddick, though, is going to be a force to be reckoned with because he's quite the road racer. So I do think that if anyone's got anything for him, I think Tyler Reddick could have something for him. You know who also is really good at Watkins Glen? Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher's won at Watkins Glen very recently. And we were just talking about how well he's been running. So he might be someone to keep an eye on for those of you out there who are doing fantasy leagues and that kind of thing. Chris Buescher might be one to put on the list. They're also, I'm curious to see what they do with it because I've been hearing that they're going to start enforcing track limits with like these barriers they're going to put up on the walls. I'm not sure where the walls are going. They were describing them where they were at, but I couldn't picture it on the track. So I'm curious to see where what the track limits will do for the racing. Because they do just kind of drive all over that place.
They do. I mean, there are a few places I think that they weren't allowed to really drive, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting because it's apparently going to be quite cold.
They usually run the race in August. Now, I'm not from the northern areas, but you're from Connecticut. What do you think that race is going to be like? This time of year, what is it like in Connecticut this time of year?
I mean, it'll be quite cold. That's further north than I lived, and let's see what the forecast is in Connecticut coming up. Well, it's 67 there right now.
It's a nice day.
It's going to be Well, there's going to be a little heat wave in Connecticut.
Nice.
It's going to be 54 on Saturday, but then 71 on Sunday. Connecticut
54
has
to 71. That's quite a jump.
Yeah.
That's quite a jump.
So I don't know. Maybe I can look up exactly what Watkins Glen is going to look like, but
it's going to be weird. Like, it's
going to be cold.
I don't like change, and I am used to Watkins Glen being
it's the opposite
August.
in Watkins Glen.
What's it going to be?
67 on Saturday, 60 on Sunday. It's going to be cold.
60 degrees is going to be cold. Yeah, I don't like change, and I'm used to Watkins Glen being in August, and that's where I want it.
Yeah,
I don't want it to move.
Too. Nobody wants to go to upstate New York anytime other than the summer.
Yeah.
That's not a good place to be anytime other than like June, July, or August.
Yeah. No, I don't like this. I hope NASCAR puts this one back where it belongs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Plus, it's on Mother's Day. Like, it's just, they kind of screwed the fans up there. They get like one race a year that's even anywhere near them, and they put it on Mother's Day in the cold. Like, just not cool.
NASCAR didn't used to race on Mother's Day. They would take the week off for Mother's Day, and they don't do that no more. So we're going to Watkins Glen now. In the cold northern temperatures, we're going up there to run a road course. Chase Elliott's also really good at Watkins Glen. Maybe he rides the momentum. I really like Chase Elliott. I'm really glad that he won. It's good to see him winning multiple races. I'll tell the quick Chase Elliott story. I've told you this before. I was just thinking about this a moment ago. I would love to know if Chase ever got this, but I was a huge Bill Elliott fan growing up. That was my man, Austin Bill from Dawsonville, the $1 Million Bill. And so when I was a kid, Pokemon had just started coming about. And I got my first Pokemon cards, like us all millennials did. We were into Pokemon. And I remember writing a fan letter to Bill Elliott, just telling Bill Elliott how awesome he was. Like, he needed me to tell him. He knew how awesome he was. He was the awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Well, anyway, in the letter, I decided to enclose a Diglett Pokémon card. My favorite Pokemon.
No one else's favorite Pokemon but yours.
I gave one of my favorite Pokemon cards in the letter with a PS being like, because Chase Elliott's younger than me, obviously.
Yeah.
By like a couple of years. He's younger than me. But I was like, Bill, I don't know if Chase is into Pokemon, but if he is, here's a card. This is my favorite card. And if he's not, this can get him started on his Pokemon collection. I have always wanted to know if Chase Elliott got that Pokemon card or is into Pokemon because of that, or was like, never got the card and was like, what the hell is this? Who wants Diglett? And like gave it away to someone. Like, no one likes Diglett. But yeah, that's just a little fun Chase Elliott story I was thinking about right before we came on the show.
Well, if anybody knows Chase Elliott that's listening to this show, or someone adjacent to Chase Elliott, please find out for Justin if he ever got a Diglett Pokemon card from his dad in a fan letter.
Dying to know. Dying to know. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Any other topics we want to cover this week?
No, I think that's good. I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen. That's always a fun race. I need to show you the finish to a Watkins Glen race I was rewatching the other day. It was a battle between Marcus Ambrose and Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. NASCAR fans, you know the one I'm talking about. I need to show you that finish because I know how much you like Watkins Glen, and I think that you would get tickled pink watching this finish.
Such a weird expression. That expression kind of creeps me out.
Tickled pink?
Yeah. It's odd.
I like it. It's fun. Not being tickled pink. I just think the expression's fun.
All right. Well, we'll call it here then. As always, you can find Turn 4 on all YouTube Music, and Spotify at 6 a.m. on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy this podcast, please like or subscribe, because we would love to have you as a regular listener.
I need to get out of the sun. Look, I'm going to get sunburned. Look how white that is.
You are, so we better go.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Take it easy.